Hey everybody, as us northern states campers are starting to winterize our rigs and pack up for the season, um, I just happened to be reflecting on some of the top five, let's say five items, might be a bonus one at the end, that have made our camping life quite a bit easier, and nice upgrades to have. So starting with the first one, no particular order. Um, I would have to say that switching our interior lights over to LEDs was huge. I mean, it was dim when you'd come inside, turn on the lights, and then once you switch over to LED, you don't know what you're missing until you experience that. So, um, all these upgrades that we like to have on our rig, I'll post links in the description below. And if you want to upgrade your rig with them like we have, it's an easy way to find out where they are. Number two, we've had these since the very beginning, and I can't imagine not having them. Is the XChocks. A lot of people, at the sites, they still use the wedges, and all that's fine, but we have three boys, 13, 11, and 8. And they come barreling down the middle of the trailer. And those, believe it or not, those XChocks, they really help stabilize this thing from rocking and rolling in the middle of the night. It is a huge difference. So I can't recommend those enough. Third item would probably have to be our voltage monitor, an onboard one. When we first bought our trailer, gosh, 4.5 years ago now, I think. The salesman at Camping World, or not Camping World, General RV, I'm sorry, he recommended getting one of those voltage monitor systems for when you plug into shore power. You don't want to short anything out if there's happens to be some heavy voltage spikes or fluctuations. So I ended up going with one that you install on the rig inside that actually will monitor the current, the amperage, all kinds of features. The neutral and the hot are reversed. It'll basically not let power into your rig and blow up all your stuff. So that's a nice feature to have. Plus, you can see how many amps you're actually drawing when you're plugged into shore power. Like our travel trailers, 30 amp power supply. So it's kind of interesting when the air conditioning's on, the fridge is running in the heat of the summer. We're still only drawing like 14 amps. So obviously, if you kick on the coffee or a microwave or a hot plate or something like that, it's going to spike it up. But the air conditioner, even when it starts up, when it draws the most power, it's not super bad on ours. So, and we run it quite frequently. Moving on, the fourth one I'd have to say would be definitely the stabilizer system on the front of the trailer. Not your tongue tension bars, but the ones that go on the side that help stabilize the sway stabilizing bars. They really help out. Like, we have an E350 van, and that thing's already a giant sail going down the road. So now you tack on 30 feet of more sail behind you, and the crosswind, can really blow you all over the highway. I put one on one side, and it was nice, and then I bought a second one for the other side, and it's makes quite a difference. Obviously, no one wants to drive in a crosswind blowing across the highway, but at least if it pushes you to the side, the whole thing will go. Your car, or your tow vehicle and your trailer will blow together, so you're not getting that drastic trailer whip that can amplify into a major situation. So a sway stabilizer on each side of the tongue really does come in handy. And last but not least, for, like I mentioned, with our 3 boys, my wife, myself. I usually get in the shower last, with a standard Suburban 6-gallon hot water tank. There's usually not any hot water left, so I went with the brand name escapes me right now, but it's a tankless water heater unit that actually replaces the 6-gallon exact fit. You know, pull the regular hot water heater tank out, slide this one right in, and it's hot water on demand. And if you're hooked up to like full hookup, it's awesome. It's like you're at home. So you could, not recommending this, but you could stay in there all day if you wanted. So if you have some teenage girls, or you know, your wife likes to spend a lot of time in the shower washing your hair out after a day at the beach, you know, all that sand, it's definitely a nice upgrade to have. If you're boondocking and you don't have any way to dump your water, or you know, are limited on water itself, you know, if you're bringing your fresh water in, it's not the most efficient at that point, but it is nice to have when you're, at least if you have a water supply and you have to maybe unload your gray water with a tote or something like that. It is nice to have. So and then kind of, I don't know, say 5.5 or a bonus item would be a skillet or some sort of hot plate item. Cooking breakfast for 5 people, usually more. Like we camp with a group of people, so it's like 7 to 9, 10. Say you're cooking for 10 people. The stove in a typical travel trailer is not efficient for doing that. So usually we'll split up. Like I'll cook some stuff on the inside. My wife maybe will do bacon on a table right outside on the plug right outside the door there. So we kind of split that up to make sure we can get the food out somewhat efficiently. But yeah, if you had to try and cook for 10 people on a 3-burner inside the travel trailer, it'd probably take you like an hour and a half at least. So it's just, there's not enough space. So in order to spread that out for more people, it's nice to have like an additional cooking surface. So either or heck, you know, even drag along one of them Blackstones with you. Those things are nice, and your neighbors will appreciate smelling the bacon in the morning. So so here's your adjustable sway control bar. This helps keep the trailer from tracking away from just going straight behind you. Helps stabilize some of that side shift, if you will. So this just goes on, you know, the ball of your tongue, and then attaches to your weight distribution hitch on the front end.